Well, it's Saturday, and you all know what that means. As you probably know, AEW Collision are now building the battle lines for the upcoming pay per view in LA Revolution. But a lot of things could happen before then. But on this particular day, we have, of course, the AEW Trios titles. The Death Riders will defend their belts for the third time, facing, of course, the TNT champion Daniel Garcia, Daddy Magic, and of course Cool Hand Hange. That's going to be interesting, and various other things as well that'll be taking place throughout this entire event. But first things first, we're going to be reviewing the much recent MARIGOLD event that took place on the 20th in Korakuen Hall. This one features, of course, the co-main event, the United National Championship. Mai Sakurai defends her championship for the second time, but this time against someone she has teamed up in the past, Chanyota, and we'll see how that will turn up. And of course, the Twin Star Tag Team Champions, Nana Takahashi and Sarah Yamaoka, will defend their belts against the current MARIGOLD World Champion Utami Ishida and the Superfly Champion Victoria Yuzuki. Then, of course, we will cap up our episode with some news updates to give you guys updates on what's been happening in the world of pro wrestling, such as what events the promotions are throwing out, who's booked, what matches are set, including developments that are happening in the world of pro wrestling as we speak. So, let's get ready for another episode of the Deleted Wrestle Zone.
Are you ready? Get up, get up! 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 Get up, get up!
Hey everyone, welcome to the Deleted Wrestle Zone, all things that is pro wrestling with AEW, NXT, New Japan Pro Wrestling, TNA, the National Wrestling Alliance, various promotions, wrestlers, matches, and championships. I am your host, J Rod here. So, if you are new to the channel, welcome. This is a channel where we do a lot of pro wrestling views from various promotions, not only here in the United States, but also in Japan, Mexico, Canada, Europe, the UK. Anywhere in the world, pro wrestling is not as big, but it continues to grow. We also, of course, do discussion videos, talk about various topics such as the wrestlers themselves, the promotions, factions, storylines, whatever we want to talk about. We also, of course, do more news updates. If certain information was unable to be on this episode, we can either put it on the next one or on a separate video by itself. We also, of course, do real-timing news updates to keep you guys on alert if something has happened in the world of wrestling that needs to be addressed ASAP. We also, of course, got the Unagi Sayaka Watch and various other cool wrestling content as well. So if you like what you see, please subscribe to us or click on that subscribe button. You'll be getting a lot of daily reviews and other cool wrestling content as well. But if you like this episode, please give us a like on the like button or a nice comment in the description down below. Now, enough with the pleasantries. It's time to rock and roll. So let's bring on the noise. So let's begin with MARIGOLD with their latest New Year's Golden Garden. And of course, they go back to Korakuen Hall. Okay, MARIGOLD, day 11th of the New Year's Golden Garden. And of course, they return back to Korakuen Hall. Now, we opened up with tag team action. We have Ryoko Sakimura and, what's her name? Yuki Manami taking on Riara and Rhea Seto. Now, nothing too special about this, but of course, you probably would think there's some factors in this match, not to mention when it comes to Manami and Sakimura. Of course, they're the least experienced group, but in this case, it was Rhea Seto picked up a win when she countered a move by Ryoko and she applied it into a camel clutch. And of course, Ryoko had no other choice but the tap. Now, before the next match, we did have a surprise visit by someone named Arena Yamanaka. Now, those who may not know who she is, she wrestled with Best Body Japan Pro Wrestling, which is a promotion that it's all about, flexing your muscle and all that. And Mina Shirakawa was part of that promotion for a short time, and she was the first ever women's champion, in case anybody asks. But you ask yourselves, what is this woman doing here in the first place? Well, she just said that she was offered to come and visit the promotion, and that was it. Now it's still unclear whether she'll be joining the promotion, full time. We know that there's been history with Rossi Ogawa. People still are cautious with them when it comes to poaching talent. We don't know if that's the case, so we'll put a pin on that. But she did left the ring and sat right next to Rossi Ogawa in the booth. So we'll see what the future lies for her if we're gonna see her more often. Now our next match we were supposed to have Megaton versus Nao Ishikawa, but due to some unforeseeable reasons, Nao Ishikawa was unable to make it. But we did see her opponent, and her name is Gigaton. Looks more like a crazy version of Gene Simmons. If you guys are Kiss fans, I mean, I know I am a Kiss fan, but he looks like it. But in reality, that's Nao Ishikawa. So anyway, yeah. So Megaton was looking at Gigaton like, what the hell? Just, just they had no idea. But however, of course, a lot of things was happening. But Gigaton had like this freak of nature that she is enjoying herself. But there was a moment where, of course, Megaton was attempting to use that chain ball onto Gigaton, but Gigaton was attempting to wipe her out with a chain, but accidentally hit the referee. But however, it did not work in Megaton's favor because the referee was out. Because she got distracted, Gigaton rolled her up, and then one, two, three, it was over. But of course, Gigaton was laughing her butt off, realizing, I got you, bitch. So that kind of thing. So it's really, really interesting. Now, our next match, we have six-woman tag match. As you know, we have a brand new faction, Darkness Revolution, that consisted Megaton, Misa Matsui, Chiaki, Nagisa Nozaki, and of course Bozilla. But however, in this team we have Mitsa Matsui, Chiaki, and Nagisa Nozaki. However, Mitsa Matsui now goes by Speed Psycho. So basically, um, she has a new look, more like an evil. I don't know if they're trying to turn her like almost similar to Sayakami Tani, but that's how it is. But their opponents are none other than Chika Goto, Natsumi Shozuki, and Miku Anu, which is interesting. I'm sure everybody had their issues towards Misa Matsui, but now that she's jumping to the dark side bus, that kind of shows. And not to mention, Mitsumatsui was using chairs on Chika Goto, and she in physically applying a flying knee onto her, and just like that, one, two, three. And then they posted out a promo. I don't know what officially they said, but I'm sure they are living their happy life knowing they're gonna make everybody's life a living hell. So we'll see where this goes. Now our next match is a number one contendership for the MARIGOLD World Champion. So whoever comes out will face Utami Ayashida, and we have Bozilla and Mirai. Now Mirai made a bold move that she wants to challenge for this belt, but however, Bozilla's like, oh hell no, I'm the one who's going to be challenging for that belt. So the best way to sell it is see who will walk out. And of course, this match became all sorts of mayhem. Bozilla taking Mirai outside the ring, trying to soften her up. But Mirai is just too strong. But in the end, it was not much enough because Bozilla applied the sit down power bomb. And just like that, one, two, three, Bozilla wins. She will face Utami Ashida. Now, it's still unclear when or where, but we'll stick a pin on that sooner or later. Now, our next match, this is for the Marigold United National Championship, aka the White Belt. Mai Sakurai makes her second defense against Chenyota. Now, let me give you guys a little backstory about this. Those who know this, Mai Sakurai first met Chenyota when she was still in Stardom. When they were doing the whole New Blood thing, Chenyota showed up. And of course, Mai Sakurai was a bit annoyed about her ways, about her workouts and all this other stuff, but it's who she is. But in the end, they eventually teamed up. They even fought for the new blood tag team belts where they were unable to win. But however, it's been almost a year since they teamed up, and recently they have teamed up again, a successful win. But however, Chenyota, much like Masakurai, also has grown up. But man, I have to say Chenyota has really changed, has developed her own craft. But in the end, it was Mai Sakurai who, in fact, walked away with the win when she applied the STF, and just like that, Chanyota tapped out and Mai Sakurai retained the belt. But in the post match, of course, Sakurai had some words to say to Chanyota, but of course, in the end, Chanyota and Mai will continue to team up no matter what. But I wouldn't be surprised if those two will make a play for the Twin Star Championship, so we'll see where that goes. So now, speaking of the Twin Star Championships, Seri Yamaoka and Nana Takahashi defend their championships against, of course, Victoria Yuzuki, who is our current Superfly champion, and Utami Ayashida, our current world champion. So you would think that there's going to be a lot of great moments, but I have to say this was a pretty good match. Seri Yamaoka, who has least experience, but she's shown prominent. Not to mention learning a lot from Nana Takahashi once again, just like last time when they won the tag team belts. She was able to pull off the same win when she applied a German suplex onto Victoria Yuzuki. So things ended. But however, I wouldn't be surprised if this. As you probably know, the rule of thumb, Sari Yamaoka pinned Victoria Yuzuki, so that means she could cash in an opportunity for the Superfly belt, and it seems they're going to go for it. So that's going to be interesting. But however, speaking of championships, Bozilla couldn't just resist to tell Utami Ishida how she's going to be the one to take the red belt, the crimson belt from her, but she tells her that she's afraid of her. But Utami is not afraid of anybody, no matter how big or strong they are. She's always ready for a fight. So we'll see what happens until they announce when and where it's going to take place. So I think we are done with Marigold. Let's move on with AEW Collision. Okay, AEW Collision. So it started out with Mariah May attacking Tony Storm. So you probably can guess Mariah May has completely lost it ever since she lost the women's title to Tony Storm in Brisbane, Australia, which is, of course, the home of Tony Storm. But now it seems that things have gone a little too far, so there's going to be a part three. And I wouldn't be surprised if this is going to take place in Revolution, which I'm sure it will happen. Now, our first official match, we have Hologram, who made his return recently. Uh, he faces against Beast Mortals, which, of course, he was the one who put him out of action for quite some time. That kind of plays out. But man, Hologram was able to counter whatever deadly move Beast Mortal was attempting to do. But in the end, it was, of course, a sunset flip that allowed him to pick up the win. However, of course, Beast Mortal was not going to let this one go no matter what. But luckily, Hologram's comrade at arms, Commander, showed up to give him the helping hand. So that resolved things. Now, it took a bit of long because they just announced that Speedball Mike Bailey will be coming soon to AEW. So we just don't know when or where. But there was been talk about that he may have been AEW bound. Now I know some people in the WWE fan base are gonna say Mike Bailey made a big mistake going to AEW. Well, sorry guys, it's his perspective, but we'll see what happens. But for now, keep moving forward. Now, of course, Harley Cameron had an in-ring interview with Lexi Neer, and of course they talk about her match in Grand Slam, even though Harley Cameron was capable of admitting, yes, I did not win. But think of it, Grand Slam was just the start. So that means one way or the other, I will have a championship. So, championship around my waist, that sort of thing. So that's kind of what she's trying to do, to show the people, I'm just getting started, folks. So, let's keep moving forward. So that's the whole point. Now, Our next match, we have Gabe Kidd coming all the way from Japan, a member of the Bullet Club War Puppies, taking on the Butcher. Now, of course, Gabe Kidd is a very tough bastard. He doesn't give a damn about anybody. And of course, he was going to finish him off with the pile driver, which was obvious. Now, Lexi Neer wanted to talk to Kyle Fletcher and Don Callis about the issue. Now, however, Fletcher was trying to divert the real question. The question that she wanted to know: will he accept Will Ospreay's match at Revolution in a steel cage? Basically, that was the whole point. But of course, Don Callis, who is pooping in his diapers, has probably had enough of hearing Will Ospreay. But sooner or later, but Fletcher is confident enough to believe this will be the end of Will Ospreay. But we'll see. So we'll just see. Now, our next match, we have Julia Hart making her presence known, taking on, of course, Queen Aminata. So basically, you can guess this match fell in favor for Julia Hart when she applied a Fuji Watami, and just like that, Queen Aminata had no choice but to tap. Now, our next match, well, kind of went on quickly. The Murder Machine, Brian Cage, and Lance Archer taking on guys called Sky High. Well, this match ended real quick thanks to a choke power bomb, and the pinfall was done by Cage. However, of course, you probably remember Murder Machine are now making the play against the Hurt Business, no, the Hurt Syndicate, my bad, for the AEW World Tag Team belts. So, of course, the Hurt Syndicate are feeling like, I don't know what to impress. But they felt, hey, guys, you are impressive. But the problem I'm having, you did not win by defeating a real tag team. So they said, how about this? Next week, face a real tag team, and we'll talk about the possibility of an AEW World Tag Team belts. So that was the whole point of what they were after. So we'll see. Now, our next match, we have the AEW World Trios Championship. Cool Hand Ange, Danny Magic, and Daniel Garcia taking on the Death Riders. Now, of course, when it comes to the Death Riders, you know that they're out to make a statement to show the world that they're still in control of AEW because they got the AEW World title in their midst. But of course, when it comes to this, it was Pac who walked away with the win when he applied the brutalizer on Cool and Edge. But however, the Death Riders wanted to send a message by wiping Daddy Magic, Cool and of course Daniel Garcia. But luckily, the Undisputed Kingdom showed up to even the odds. But however, Copeland made his promise that he was going to walk out and take out the Death Riders one by one. And the first person to fall was Pac when he applied the concerto, not once, but twice. But Moxley, he had that look in his eye like he should be concerned. Should he be concerned? Because you may never know who is next. Will it be that idiot Willard Yuta, or will it be the brainless Claudio Castagnoli? So we'll see where that goes. But by the look of Moxley's face, he seems concerned. But we will see what happens. Now, Lexinier conducts an interview with Vendetta, consistent of Teo Valkyrie and Deanna Purrazzo. However, there is one person in their mind they feel like they can't stand. Harley Cameron. They feel that she's nothing but a nuisance. So, of course, they're going to deal with her soon enough, but we'll get to that at some point. Now, the Outrunners once again did it. No, my bad. Let's trail back. Once again, we have Max Caster's Open Challenge. So the real question, who was going to answer it? Well, the person who answered was Brody King. And you can tell this match was going to be not in a good mess for Max because he ended up being cannonballed by Brody King. And just like that is over. So basically, he is 0-3. So, not looking good. Now, jumping into our last interview with Lex Lanier, she talks to the Outrunners. So, as you know, they had a good, successful wins in Brisbane. So the real question is, what's next? So their next is to become World Tag Team Champions. So that was the whole point, and the Hurt Syndicate was there. So MVP came up with the solution. How about you two guys take on the Murder Machine? So they're jumping the opportunity. Now, our main event, we have the Ring of Honor World Championship on the line. Chris Jericho defends it against Bandito. Now, of course, as you know, when Bandito first reappeared, Chris Jericho has just had it with them, so he decided to take matters in his own hands. So you probably would think that there's going to be a possibility that Bandito could have won, but however, Bandito nearly had this match won if it wasn't for Chris Jericho countering the Tony One Plex and retaining the belt. So we'll see where that goes from there. So for right now, we are done with everything else, and let's just move on with our last and final thing, news updates. Hey guys, so let's begin with our news updates. Now, if you guys saw recently, I put out a special announcement that Ring of Honor will be here in San Diego along with AEW. Well, two matches have been announced for the Ring of Honor show here in San Diego. We have the first one is a six-man tag, and it's all about lucha libre. We have Blue Panther and his sons, Blue Panther Jr. and Dark Panther. They take on Valiente, Gran Guerrero, and Euphoria. So basically, that's going to be fun. And then, of course, the Ring of Honor Women's Championship will be defended. Athena defends it against Catalina. Uh, Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling announced two more names for their upcoming event between the 14th and the 15th of March in Ontario. Tom Latimer and Taylor Rising. If you guys don't know who Tom Latimer is, he's the current NWA World Heavyweight Champion. Taylor Rising is a native from Canada. Now, on the 16th of March, Tokyo Pro Wrestling will have the Grand Princess event. Yuki Rai will take on the final boss, Meiko Satomura. Now, two matches have been announced for the Epic Encounter by RevPro that will take place on the 16th of March. We have Diana Peraza versus Kenji. And then, of course, the undisputed British Cruiserweight title will be defended. Will Caven will defend the belt against Robbie X, and, of course, Stephen Wolf. And then finally, Ganbare Pro has a very interesting matches taking place. The show is called Mad Max 2025 that will take place on the 11th of April in Korakuen Hall. The first match we have Shuichiro Katsumura and Kusuke Ishii. They take on Blue Justice, Yuji Nagata and Tatsuhito Takaiwa. And then of course there's gonna be a six-woman tag match in this event. We have Moika Mahito, Yuri, and of course Flying Penguin. They take on Stardom's very own FWC. That's right, Koguma and Ozuki, and they will team up with Yuna Manase. However, there's a tweet with Yuna Manase talking about how she always wanted to work with them, how she always wanted to meet both Koguma and Ozuki. So it's very interesting to see that. So it's like her dream is coming true. So I can't wait. Oh, well, hopefully I see it. I mean, I would love to see it. But for now, we'll just end things. So there is no developments going on right now. If there is anything, I'll probably put it either in a separate video or on the next episode, depending. But for now, let's call it a day. Well, I hope everybody enjoys this episode. Coming up, I haven't decided yet what to exactly do. I mean, normally we have pay-per-views or not, but I'm just gonna wing it for the next episode. So we'll just leave things as it is. So I will surprise you, and of course, just a friendly reminder, I will be going to AEW this coming Wednesday, where Ring of Honor will also be here. So I'm excited for that. I'm also close in finishing up trying to get my things together for the next discussion video involving the Cosmic Angels, and I may do that possibly the following day. So we'll see. But for right now, I will see you guys in the next DWZ time, same DWZ channel. I must bid all of you adieu. So, goodbye, and have a nice day. Bang.